You start.
Okay, good afternoon. You got both of us today. Two for one. The both for us here. So let's say welcome to Second Thought Africa,
Mhm.
the all women platform or the oldest women platform. We're determined to continue to work for our nation, no matter how discouraging it gets. We want to keep pushing. We're here tonight to discuss with you. Please come and join us. Okay. The importance of good governance in the Boakai administration. We just put admin because of how many characters the system can take.
Mhm.
Um, and we strongly believe if we do what is right, the rest of the world will come to us. We don't believe we will chase anything to come to us when our house is not in order. So tonight, that's what we're going to be discussing. We have so much. I mean, we are lost in reading some of what we are saying, what we are hearing. So forgive us if we came on a little late. Please share the video, join
Mhm.
us, and be a part of the conversation. Doc, I'm going to
Yes,
let you kind of call.
yes, it's good to be here tonight on a cold Sunday evening from my end. I just want to appreciate all of you for joining us. We ask you to support us. As Jacindy said earlier, we've been here for quite a while. We are, the two women who take our time to communicate with you and to the Liberian people, despite what, is happening in the world, what the world might say about us. We just want to make sure that we inform the Liberian people, we advocate for our people, and hopefully we can bring change to our country. So we want to thank you for joining us. We have so much to talk about. We were talking earlier, and it was just like very excited. We couldn't wait to communicate with you guys as well. Um, so you see, there's a lot of topics that we have on the docket or on our agenda for you tonight. Although
Mhm.
you give you the overall, why is it important, for this Buckeyes less legacy government legacy. Let's put. I want to remember the word legacy government. Why is it important for this legacy government to model good governance? Okay, for our country. In fact, when we think about, if you think about legacy, you think about somebody who's setting up a tradition, and we hope
Right.
that it's a new tradition, not the
Absolutely.
tradition of the past. All right. So this is why we're talking about, why do you think that if Buckeye, this government was living according to the campaign promises of good governance, living according to not having the missteps that we're seeing in this government now, do you think that would give the likes of, you know, Samuel Tue, Karis Gray, Jefferson Koji to be as loud as they are right now, or to even give them a voice in our country right now? I want to know, what do you think about that? And I will share my opinion with you. So that's one of the things that we what do you think, you Cindy? I know what do you think?
I'm here. I'm here. I was trying to plug in my laptop because the moment we leave from here, work starts.
Yeah, I
And I'm
know.
sure it starts for you. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, I am laughing, but it's not funny. It's just trying to deal with the emotions that I'm feeling, the disappointment that I feel right now.
Mhm.
Uh, it, it, we were told majority of the so-called Liberian who were supposed to have known better has said to us, "Oh, Pape Boakai uh, um, administration will be a legacy administration because he does not have the time. He does not have time to negotiate. In respect to age was not in his favor. Um, um, Second term was not in his favor. So give you an opportunity, and he himself asked, "Give up me the opportunity. I will put Liberia on path to prosperity, path to transparency, path to justice and accountability. We will make sure we kill impunity. We shall plague this nation. In fact, this nation is in trouble." And he Ambassador Boakai, now President Boakai, was the only one who knew and understood the system, who knew and could understand the tradition. Those are they are not written, they are in his own words, spoken words.
Mhm.
Okay, that he knows the people, he knows the culture, he knows the country, he knows the country situation or the country problem, where has been the problem, and he was the most experienced. So the Liberian people took him, okay, for his words, to
Mhm.
give him the place that he would fix this. All right. And
Mhm.
now, I mean, somebody would say it's early. If we say it's early, how many people have died? How many more lives are we willing to sacrifice to make an excuse? Okay. When you rescue me, someone is perishing or something is perishing, and you want to keep them alive. And that my I don't know what to say at this point, because I'm just being bombarded. I'm sure you're being bombarded with all of this information are coming. We will
Absolutely.
not have the people that are speaking if we have built a platform. We have come to the presidency with a plan, and that plan has a start point, a mid point, and an end point. All right. So people will follow you. So even if you falter, we say, okay, we didn't cover this one, but we will cover the next one. We can make a, this is how many miles we have to cover. We're yet to see where we are headed. Hey, Kotoma, we're yet to see where we are headed in respect to the direction of the nation. And if you did, I think this is just a distraction, to tell you the truth. It is a total distraction where you got people running back and forth. But this is me. That, we had a heated conversation about this non-permanent seat. Then you got somebody that taught, who literally raided the nation, okay, coming back to have a mouth to speak. The last time we checked, Miguel was going to court. And then
Yes.
we heard, oh, Miguel told you must stand there and stop talking. If you stop talking, nothing will happen. But then it comes down to the citizenry.
Mhm. Yes.
So this is what we are. Everybody waiting for a hero. Everybody wants somebody to get in this to come. All right. But we have to remember what your constitution says. All power is inherent in the people, and the preamble say, we the people, you have the power, not an individual. So for now, I'm going to stay at that.
Yeah, so I wanted to just kind of speak to something you just said. When President Parker came to power, he campaigned, and many people believe him. In fact, let's say he won the election, so majority of the people believed him that he was most experienced, despite there were some of us who were saying, well, this man has been the most experienced. Yes, we agree. He spent a lot of time in government, but we were not seeing his outcomes, his outputs that was significant enough to encourage us, okay, to influence or impress upon us some of the decisions that we say of a leadership quality. So, so we were like kind of hesitant. We were like, okay, let's wait and see. So, but life and history. In fact, Maya Angelou, one of the people that you see that I follow a lot and read about a lot, she says, if you know better, you do better.
You do better.
Okay.
Correct.
So if this man spent 42, 45, whatever years you say you want to talk about, because when you say you put it this way, whatever years you want to talk about to say this man was incoming, we agree. We'll use your word, we agree. Okay. However, then we expect better. We expect a modeling of good governance. Okay. We don't expect missteps so early, especially repeated missteps. We expect, yeah, to err is human. We all are human. Leadership sometimes taking over a government, sometimes there can be some ups and downs, but there's repeated missteps. And so this is what we are questioning. If he can engage in these missteps, and these missteps are not, they're not of blindness, I would like to say, that nobody can see. these missteps seem so intentional. All right. They are not, oh, I had a little oversight from my perspective. All right. Having $2 million in your budget, in a recast budget, unexplained category, that's not oversight to me. That's not a misstep to me. Okay. So when I see those things, and then I hear that we should wait a little bit, I should wait until, like my sister said, plenty people die in JFK because that unexplained two
Yeah.
million dollars that could have bought a couple of CT scan machines or MR machines or insulins for people at JFK. No, that's not missteps. And she ended, and we'll go to her because we have an agenda here today. What we look like brain people, that's what we come here every day. We don't come here for ourselves. Today's Sunday. We both got to work, so we'll be running quickly to go back to work. But that
Mm-hmm.
she Rita said, she said to you, the government is your government, Liberian people. If you listen, if you under the sound of our voice, be conscientizing your people back home, be telling them, be talking to them. It is their government. It says we the people, by the people, for the people, and of the people. That's how government works.
Correct.
Okay, so you see it.
Correct.
Yeah. So we are going to start off talking as our welcome to welcoming point to you. We were talking about the president's trip to the United Nations. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings?
So first,
That
I
was
think you and I have been doing some extensive research to see where we are.
yeah.
You have your take, I have my take.
Mhm. Yes.
Number one, let's talk about
Mhm.
the entourage.
Yeah.
Okay. Doc, let me, if you don't mind, let me show something right here on my
Look,
page.
go
There,
ahead. Go ahead.
there,
I'm with
there,
you.
there is a picture here on my Facebook.
Mhm.
Where is it? Lord have mercy. Where you have children in Grand Bassa County.
Yes, I
Not
saw
Grand
that.
Bassa, but
River
River says, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You said that
River
too.
says, I'm trying to pull it, but it's not working for me for some reason. All right. On my page.
That is troubling.
Okay. The children are sitting in a mud building. Mud. Mud. All right.
Mm-mm.
On the ground. On the ground. All right. On the ground. This is a shame. Is it mud? Zinc.
Yeah, I saw that. So
Oh
yes,
my God, I gotta do my announcement. You saw that?
yes, you sent that to me.
Uh
Yeah, in our chat room,
yeah, so
Cindy.
let me see this.
Did you want to? So this is a school building in a
Yeah,
country where we have this, and I'm gonna just it. You can interrupt because you know you were supposed to be speaking on this,
yes,
but
yes.
yeah,
I'm gonna
she's getting it uploaded. So when
yes.
when you're ready, just giving a thumbs up, right? Um,
Let me
so
see if
this
it
is
will
in a
come on.
country where we're taking this
Okay,
huge enterprise,
it not showing.
you're
It
not
not
going.
showing, but that's fine. I
But how
can
you
show
take
it
it
on
to at
my
the phone and at the phone you remember you can use your other phone and go like this
yeah,
to
I
us.
can use my phone and show it. Let me use my
Mhm.
phone and show it to y'all.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, Liberian children here.
Mm. I saw that. I was so disgusted by that.
Yeah, school here. That's Ding Shot.
Yeah. So
You see right there. If I can come on, I will show it. All
yes,
right.
but tell them what they let me look for that picture you sent me because if
Mm-hmm.
Liberians can only see what you I mean when you send that to me, I was just like, really,
Right.
what is this? This is what she's showing you is a picture of a school building where the children don't even have any seat to sit on.
No
It's
seat to sit on.
it's an open frame,
Yep.
like no nothing to whether a window,
Yep.
whether a venue. Our children will just be sitting down in a space. It's just a space. Okay. Then they on the floor, mud.
They're
dust
sitting down on the ground.
on
On
the
the
ground,
ground.
on
When you
the
say put
floor.
something there, that on
Hmm.
the ground.
Okay. So yeah, it is. So this is 2024. 2024. The least that we can do to educate our children is to give them that kind of condition. And we expect to to produce good citizens in our country. We should know better, right, Lucindy?
We know better. Now we know better because
Hmm.
our children are not in the country. Or our
Hmm.
children are going to international school. When I say our children, I'm
Hmm.
speaking of
Hmm.
those who are in charge of the decision process. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those
So
who are making a decision.
that brought tears to my heart, pain to my
Okay.
heart. And it's online. Is this where I'm seeing? So this building is just open frame. They only have the roof over it. All right, it's a zinc building, and nothing wrong with zinc building, but just we just need to know that it gets hot, and it gets cold. There's nothing to measure the temperature when you have a zinc round
Yes.
building. Okay,
Yes.
we are actually educating our students there. There's a couple of students that are just sitting on the floor, the books, everything on the floor. They don't even we don't even see no blackboard. They're just trying. These students are trying. Okay, they're eager to learn. They're at the place where their brain is stimulating, is soaking in information, and we can't even provide any kind of decent educational infrastructure for them. We can't even, there's no plan. And this goes to what we were talking about, good governance. Since this government came into power, President Boakai came into power, when was the last time you heard him say, these are my plans for healthcare, these are my plans for education, this is my plan for the economy, the rest agenda that they talk about, this is my plan for business tourism. Every now and then I see somebody from water and sanitation put in preparation of preparing a pipeline break. Okay, but what is the long-term goal for providing clean drinking water to the Republic of Liberia? Because all of these things contribute to productivity of citizens. So I mean, you see, I get back to you. I don't know if you got that video ready yet, but yes.
It's not going up. So we were talking about
Mhm.
we're talking about the travel, okay? And this travel, we're coming somewhere. You guys, John, every Sunday evening around this time, We're here for at least because both of us gotta go out. We make a commitment. We make a commitment. We're supposed to be live in Nimba, but we're working on some other radio stations. So
Mhm.
Nimba broadcasts across 15 other counties, but we are not being able to because of weather. They say today is raining heavily, so apparently when it rains, there interruption.
Yes.
The president travel because we talk about legacy government, okay?
Mhm.
That what is good for good governance. We fire Weah and his people. The Liberian people gave Weah and his people one turn based on everything that is happening today. Thank you, Jabate. Okay, based on everything that is happening today, we say you were carrying a large entourage that the country could not afford to feed or to take care of.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
this president from the day he took over, I think he had traveled over 9 times. And everywhere he goes, number one, they lied. And they will tell you he went with 6 people. He went with 7 people. He went with 9 people who will find out that he went with 50, 60, 100. In fact, at the United Nations today, the excuse is we're fighting for non-permanent seat. We have had that non-permanent seat more than once. It did not impact our country that trickled down to. Number one. And that has a totally different opinion from I die. Okay. I tried to convince her. I didn't do it. She tried to convince me, and I still stand my ground.
That's
Here's
right.
why. I cannot get up. Okay. I cannot get up. Okay. And go to Dr. Richardson's house and leave my children hungry and pack up friends and everybody else and carry them. Whereas my kids are hungry. That is a problem. That is a problem. All right. So we don't have money. Why are we taking all most of our lawmakers, or at least I don't know how many of them are at the United Nations? Why are they there? How many U.S. senators are happening here in America that you see there? How many U.S. representatives that you see there? Okay, the president will show up. The president usually show up because United Nations is literally America, and we dine with world leader. When he shake hands with them, we take picture with them. That's what they do. It has been the culture. It does not matter who you are. All right. But right now, our children don't even have food to eat. Drug has literally plagued the nation. It has become a security issue. But you're looking to be on a decision making. You can't even make decision in your own house that impact positively. So that's a problem. That's a problem with the travel, with the entourage. All right. At this point, I would have thought when the Pape took over, it would be time that he has planned. Will focus on Liberia and Liberia's future to build the legacy as they have promised to change the trajectory of the nation. But that I don't see it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I
Yeah.
just don't see it.
Yes. So when I think about the president traveling to the United Nations, I kind of look at it in multiple ways. First of all, I did look at his presentation, the speech that he presented, and I looked at the argument that people are making about Liberia becoming a non-permanent member on the Security Council seat. It's something that Yesenia and I have gone back to talk about. So one, the way that I look at his speech is, one, let's look at delivery. Two, let's look at how the speech was organized. Three, let's look at the content of the speech. Four, let's look at the purpose of the speech. That's how I looked at it. Okay. So when it comes to delivery, I was watching a speech with a couple of colleagues of mine, friends of mine who are non-Liberian, because I wanted to get a non-biased perspective. Then I
Mhm.
also had my daughters. You see, they knows them very
Uh-huh.
well. Yeah, nieces. I brought nieces into the thing. I say, yeah, come, because I wanted to get some youthful perspective on the speech, and also I won't say no bias because I'm the mother, so of course, but I think they were objective. One of the things that both parties said, they said President Boakai looked down. They didn't look at the audience almost 90% of the time. I was like I was like, oh, you sure? They're like, yeah. So we know, and I'm not going to fault him for this. You know that he's never been a active speaker or fiery speaker. So we can't fault him for this. Okay. So that's one thing that we can say. However, though, when you give it a speech and you're not looking at your audience, you're not engaging your audience, you are less likely to be persuasive. And that's what I think that his duty, one of his primary responsibility was at the United Nations, was to persuade others about the condition of Liberia, persuade others about the theme, which their theme was no child left behind. They
No
want to
child left behind.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
The
no
street
child, no one,
child.
no one left behind. Actually,
The
that was
street child. Yes.
yes.
Hmm.
So you want to persuade, like, okay, no one left behind. How can the United Nations and the world at large contribute to not leaving developing countries behind, as they have done in the past? How do you persuade? So let's give him. I didn't give him a good well, I was grading. I won't give him a good grade for delivery. Of course, the organization of the speech, I think, could have been tied into much more as to no one left behind. It says acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainable development, um, in human rights or what have you. But so, and this is where Yesenia comes, and Yesenia is saying, in our own country, we're not preaching sustainable development based on the missteps that we are having. We're not advancing based on the seeping intentional corrupt behaviors that we are seeing. So then we are coming to the world. We're not helping ourselves. This verse is not in the Bible, but it says, "Hell help those who help themselves." Okay, we're not helping ourselves, but then we are we are giving a speech to the world, asking the world to help us. So if you ask me, the content of the speech was not persuasive enough. He did not tell Liberia's story well enough, and I hope that he will do better the next time that he comes. He was coming to ask for financial support. I think he could have tied that in. He could have said that in a stronger voice, because he did talk about the drug situation, and drug is not necessarily isolated to Liberia. It's not Liberia only Liberia problem. They're not our only our problem. Drug is all over in the world, and it is so effective in terms of how it may be in America, but it can affect people in Liberia because drug relates to money, diseases, and everything. So when it affects one place, it affects distant places. Okay. So to me, you can't have your LDEA situation unchecked in your country, and then you tell the world, say, I need money for you to help me with drugs. Rightfully, the world asks you, say, but when how so and so going on your country, what effort that you're making, you're not making this effort. But then why you come here and then be asking us? So that rightfully so. Um, I think one of some of the good parts of the speech, there were some good things, definitely. It wasn't like we can agree you will not be a fiery speaker. You will never be. That's fine. However, though, um, I actually think that he could have just told Liberia's story a little better. He recognized the International Day of the African Girl and Woman. That was a good thing. He also said, which I think I'm listening, because our visit to China had me questioning some things. He said that Liberia support the peace in Palestine and Ukraine. Okay, so those were all good things. He also recognized past leader like Andrew Brooks, who were at the United Nations. So those were good things. Now, let's get to the other critique that I had of him coming to the United Nations. Do I think that President Boakai needed to bring the entire entourage that Yusini said that he brought to the United Nations? No, I don't think so. Austerity measures is one of the words that I always say. We cannot be going through these rough economic times where we can't even find CT scan in the country, where we can't even find good medical care in the country. Our education system, our students are still sitting on the ground, the floor. Okay, and then we're bringing in a huge amount of people to travel. I don't even know. Some people say 50, some people say 40. I would say 40. Even 40 is too much. 10 maybe the maximum number. I can live with that. Okay. And then there's this a second argument which I think you've seen it argued about lately. Well, and the reason why this entourage does not work for me, because these people get paid, you Cindy, right? They
Yeah,
get
they get
allowance.
daily per down. Yes.
Yes, they get allowance for coming here. If we are poor, why are we bringing this huge entourage of people and then paying them for the time and the day that they're here for their food, their housing, their transportation? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
money. Okay, and this gives us a good way to scrutinize how are we managing with this whole paradigm issue. It needs to be revamped to me in the country. It needs to be changed. I don't think that people should just because people have been coming on, they will get a paradigm to go stay. We know this for a fact, right? You see, sometimes people get paradigm to go stay to their relative place. Okay.
Yeah.
People get padam, sometimes they don't even use the money for its intended purpose. So considering that we are pushing austerity measures here for our country, we need to visit that. It needs to be how we reimburse people should be visited. For example, when you see it, I don't know about you, but I know when I travel, I gotta put the money up front, and then when I
Yes.
come back, I give receipt. Then they
Yeah.
pay me, okay, for
Mhm.
work that travels. Then me and Cindy was arguing about this. So a lot of people say, well, George Weah was treated unfairly. He wasn't appropriately invited as a past president. So it's understandable why he did not or didn't want to show up at the UNGA to support Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on a Security Council. Um, I for me, it's about Liberia. It's not about Georgia. It's not about Boakai. Okay, anything that would give Liberia right now a platform that will make us visible. Because when you come to the UN, you're not just you're getting exposed worldwide. Okay, you're not just coming there. You're giving us visibility. You're giving our ability to be a member, to be at the seat of the table. To you're giving us another opportunity to share our stories with other permanent members, the five big countries like United States, China, Russia, Japan, and all of those countries that won the civil war, not civil war, the war, the Second World War. So they are the one the Security Council, the First World War, right? No,
Mhm.
yeah, okay, yeah, one of them anyway. They won the war, so that's why they're on the Security Council. And I have to think of my dates. So but people say that George Weah, since President Parker took power, he didn't go hold George Weah foot. He didn't go. He as I included call him for dinner, breakfast, and stuff like that. I personally, it is part of our culture to be I guess honoring of past leaders and be inclusive. But for me, I, if for the sake of Liberia, George Weah should have attended. This is not about him. It's not about Joshua. It's not about his feelings. It's not about his emotions. He should have been there, regardless of how they. What are you forced to go hold a foot to me? Carry on, move on, press on, whether they hold your foot or not. But so you see, we differ on that like this. So go ahead. And she told you, she said, well, uh, you can't treat him that way, and then you expect him to show up. But go ahead, Lucini.
So that in I'm here. Hopefully you can see me. I'm triple taxing.
Mhm,
The thing is though, and then for me it comes back to priority.
mhm.
Being on the Security Council is not a priority.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it has no impact at this point. The topic for this year was No Child Left Behind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, street
No,
child.
no one left behind. Yeah.
Okay, street child. When they say street child, Liberia has over 300,000 street children, and these are the ones that we know that have been documented. Okay, and they are on what do you call it? They are on drugs. They are addicted to drugs. We have had that conversation here. Okay, many times about those children whose lives hangs in the balance. These
Mm-hmm.
people, when they start calling you, my phone just going off and I'm banging on it and they're still calling. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so my thing is, what if 50 people pay a minimum $2,000 and paying them? Gina, I'm live. Anytime you call me and I call you off, that means I can't talk. Che,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, man.
I tell you. Yeah, I was telling you earlier. What
Yeah.
you mean?
So why would you take those many people? All right. to go to just to get a seat. And number one, if you were extending courtesy to the other president, former president, do the same for the other president. You can't tell him, record your voice. They have your people insulting him. You never come back to speak on it. Papa Waka never comes back to speak on issue unless he wants something from that place, then he shows up. And those are habits that must be done away with. As if you're going to be a leader and you're going to change Liberia, you got to do away with those attitudes.
Mhm.
And people have said to us over and over, when you see them acting, the papa is in the no. We have, I don't know, Donald Sano calling, and listen, we are not my favorite person. Some of you know that. No, it's when it comes to governance, when it comes to sports, yes. All right. When it comes to governance, he's not my favorite person because he does not have it. And say it any day, anytime that I wake up. Okay. But you can't say we just want you to record your voice if you say he initiated it. My thing is, it's priority that not even that he was not contacted. I didn't see the need for all of them to be there. We have been on the council twice. It did not shift Liberia. It did not shift it. It did not do nothing. There is no reason for it at this point, especially where our own land is in jeopardy and has security issue. And it's at this point, I would say Liberia is combustible. It's just a matter of a spot and we'll be in trouble. So the process, yeah, you will show up. I will show up. We've done that many times before. But we are. All right. The man who's the president were there when all the shift were going on. He didn't think he needed him. He didn't think he needed him. All right. And maybe they said, just no, who are going to listen to the video? That we don't supposed to listen to the video because you were not going to have time to go play video at United Nations. I'm making stupid out of people. All the other people that made video, they didn't play it because we didn't see it. You have few minutes to speak. That's it. What are you going to do? Play at the side event? Play in front of you, the people you're trying to negotiate with? Where was he going to play it? So we have to look at how convenient that is. So maybe it would have been better to say, extend him the courtesy and say, we want you to come with us to the United Nations like they did with other people so you can be part of, that's how I see it. But for me, it's not a priority, especially where Liberia stay in this moment in time.
Definitely. And your point is, as we discussed earlier prior to the show, just to let you guys know, and to many of you want to just thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming, every Sunday to be a part of the program. Yusini and I, we go back and forth. It's funny. She's like a backbone, a sister when it comes to, we share information. This is,
yes, we do.
We share intimate things. We share political things. So it's a blessing to me, I think, to have someone that your friendship transcends.
Me too.
Just
very much so.
Personal
like my grandnephew called yesterday on my show to see if I'm coming to his house.
I'm telling you,
that was cute though. That was really cute. You coming to my house? Where's your dog?
You see, I'm sitting at resting, it's on Saturday, and so he can hear you speak. I'm listening to you Saturday morning, your show, and he can hear you speak, and he thinks you can see him, and he keeps on talking to you as you're talking to him. So I just said, check on the show, that so you can know that I can't see you, she can't hear you, okay? So that he managed to call the show, but and her point is well taken. If you don't, he has not been afforded the respect, courtesy, and so that's 2 points Yesenia is making. And so why should we expect him then to show up for Liberia, based on the call of President Boakai, and also the fact that we have other pressing priorities in our country, and she's believing that the UN is a seat on a non-permanent seat at the Security Council is not as pressing as the economy or the healthcare system in Liberia. And that point is well taken. I share a different view, obviously. I don't right now. It's about Liberia for me. He should have been there. And I don't know. I saw you, Cindy. I saw a videotape on social media floating around with Ellen and Boakai dancing.
Oh yeah.
I think that may have been, maybe they were to, she came to support the bid. I assume, I don't know. I didn't read it. I didn't follow it. Excuse me, guys. My phone just fell. Um, so I think that, he should have been. It would have been great to see him, her, and Buckeye together for the sake of Liberia. Putting it for the sake, not so much, and maybe again, at this point, it's not about our own personal emotions. That's how I feel. But again, I definitely, I respect Cindy's point. Her point is well taken. So our next topic, and probably the topic that we probably will
Close
end
on. Yes.
today
Yes.
here, because we both have for those of you who are listening, you see if it's okay for me to share this. I put together a well, not me, but me and a group of students at the university that I work with, doctoral level students, put together a PowerPoint presentation, a workshop that we'll be presenting to the children, to students in Bon Mines. And you've seen it, been to the school that was supporting Bon Mines before. And we're going to be presenting next week. And we want to just go over the presentation to make sure that everybody knows their part, what to say, the slide that they worked on. So I'm gonna be leaving to work, and she's gonna be leaving to go do her reports for school. She has to return to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
I'm working as we're talking.
yes, she working as we talking. So we both have to leave, you guys. Well, but our last conversation basically related to we see that the former finance minister Samuel Tua is in the country, right? You Cindy,
Yes.
he came in, and many argued that he should have been taken to jail considering the charge that was levied against him. He's been charged with fraud, um, conspiracy, and economic sabotage. But yeah, I saw a couple of videotapes and him online under the sycamore tree, okay, saying that their government did very well for Liberia. So he doesn't know what we're talking about. We Liberian people, why are we blaming him when, if all of the things that he put in place, the harmonization, if it was so bad and corrupt and fraudulent, why is it still in existence? So that's what he arguing, you Cindy. So I put it to you now.
So let me say this, that it is a shame and it is inhumane. Okay,
Mhm.
it is a shame and it is inhumane on both sides of the aisle. Okay, people like Samuel Toer should not even have the guts to speak in public in Liberia. From a man who was driving truck in America, okay, got to Liberia, became a millionaire, built his house. We saw his house on TV, that the
Mhm.
fence covered
I
where he
tell
built
you,
his house. The fence alone can build maybe 4 or 5 more houses. Okay,
I tell you.
okay, and not only that, bought a house in Ivory Coast or houses in Ivory Coast. All right, because he understands nothing will happen to him. You
Mhm.
know that way back, maybe 6, 7 years ago, when the people used to say, even when they kill people and the people said this too is Liberia, nothing will happen. And I'm like, something will happen. That's not true. Because you and I found ourselves in a country where no matter if it takes 50 years, people account for their infraction.
Mhm.
People account for their iniquity. People account for their crime against the state or humanity. Okay. So I
Mhm.
would say to them, things will happen. Samuel T was supposed to be in jail. But then let's come back to this place. Why is somebody, okay, at water and saver making 7, 8, 9,000 dollars? Why is somebody in the government with $500 million, okay, for 5 point some more million people, with tens of thousands of teachers on voluntary working voluntarily? You see, the jewel of the country and the nation is the children. All right. You are taking volunteers, but you are packing people in ministries who are making tens of thousands. These people get paid more than American government where the money is made, where they have trillions of dollars in budget. Trillions. I say million or billion. I say trillion.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of money you make in Liberia, you don't make it anywhere in the world working for government. How can Papa Boakai even come to UN to say we need help? We don't need help. What we need to do is we need to go back to the table and reprioritize, repurpose what our priorities are. That's where we need to go. But somebody that's it's a shame. I don't know if I can even play that. Let me. You want me to play it on my phone?
Yeah, yeah. Go if you can.
Let me play it.
Bring
This
people.
is an insult to the Liberian people, and we are sitting and waiting. I see Liberian people coming up. Herman Costa coming up. Yake, you coming? When Yake talk, then they say, Yake, that crazy man. When Yake talk, they say, Yake cost this person. Okay? But y'all don't want to work here. Look at this. You know why? But it's a TDS. The sweetness of electoral margin of the district of election. That's in one SCB. Is 20,000. 70,000 people. That's in the full capacity. Don't even giving this guy
No, yes. Don't even care.
And that's what he wants. The thing is, and you know what? We will make it our duty that out of them, all this government does not come back to power. It has to be somebody else. They do not deserve to go anywhere near the hand of power.
Yes.
To watch our people suffer, our little girls suffer. So what Senator will tell me, we lost 4 auditors in 1 month, 4 weeks. Nothing happened. Yeah. Nothing happened. Almost every week, what they valley and rape. They declare rape as national emergency, but they did nothing to curb it. Yeah. And he said he did good. That's an insult to people who lost their children. That's an insult to people who will never be healed for the pain of rape. Okay, people who lost their parents, lost their spouses and their parents. How do you say that to a nation after you did that? But I don't blame him too on that. Mm-hmm. Why do we still have the harmonization in place? Mm-hmm. So where the UP people lying to the Liberian people, was it all a scam? Mm-hmm. All right. They've been in government for 9 months. Mm-hmm. What did they come to government with?
Exactly.
What was the plan? Do they have a plan? And, and I keep asking this, and every day that I will ask this question. Come with a plan. What is the plan? Mm-hmm. Roll, arrest is not a plan. Okay? It's a slogan. A slogan is not a plan. Mm-hmm. So that's where we are.
Yeah, and my final thoughts, and then we'll move to closing. Okay. I can't help but to agree with you that we can go back to the beginning of our conversation. If this president, this government was modeling good governance, was demonstrating to us, what does it say there, Ma? I can't read it. What is it?
Rejecting the mafia operations. Mafia. Oh, I read a funny place. Very funny place. Oh, but go ahead, Ma.
Yeah. So if we had a plan that we're saying, if President Boakai, even if he can't speak, he can't be specific, if you get one of his fiery ministers to sing in our head, to make it stay in our head that these are the government plans. We see them going to meetings. They go to that tea house behind the marshal. All of them, they march there. What they discuss is there about the development of our country? We don't know. So we will not have a plan when you've been in government for 42, 45 years, whatever, I agree. Okay. And you're supposed to know better and do better, like Maya Angelou would say, and you're not doing it. So Samuel 12, he comes to Liberia, McGill, then they can talk. Okay?
Yeah.
Although where I defer is let them go to the court and answer to the charges. McGill was charged with padding the payroll system.
Yep.
Samuel 12 was charged with economic sabotage. I still
Yep.
think of $47 million HPX money that we
Yep. Not
they
only
wrote,
that, yes,
they
yes.
wrote on.
The $25 million markup that never that show up in the market and just disappear, and they didn't know
On
who they give it to.
The
All of that.
Crow's
Yeah,
report, he had the Crow's report. He brought in his own
yeah,
investigators. The Crow report said that they were going out into the markets and the
yeah,
money changers were receiving money without documentation. That is criminal
yeah,
in nature. Okay,
yeah,
so let him go and answer. Those things are what they call economic sabotage, conspiracy. He was issuing additional money according to the likings of the president. We know that. We've seen letters where the president would just write to LTA and say, I want $1 million, I want this person to be in charge. And that
yeah,
happens. And people like Samuel told us that he didn't put a stop to it, you know. And
yeah.
so he were fraud. Those were fraudulent behavior. So now let him go and answer that the right place. Under the second one, you can go there. You're a citizen, you're right to single praise, so they can say Jaja, whatever they want to say, whatever they want to say, they can do all of that. But when you go to court, and this is what you see, I know because yeah, we talk about our faith in the system. It's a
Yeah.
prayer like I'm calling you guys. We gotta pray for our country, okay? We gotta pray for our to strengthen the judicial system. We gotta pray that we get outside help, that will get forensic because the people not did not destroy all the evidence probably by the time for them to be talking the kind of way they're talking. But I want us to learn one thing. You remember when they were saying, "Oh, I think that was coming this day, Mr. Coming say that when he brought in forensic expert, legal expert from outside the country to kind of help prove their case. What happened to the case? And they drop it.
They ran and dropped the case and say it was not enough evidence.
There we go. It was not egregious enough. That was yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's what we need. We need help with our judicial system because they now do. I will speak out like English now. Put mingle. They now do all kind of things. Put all kind of things inside. They now put their own judges, their own lawyers, all of this stuff. So to win cases, you see, they have lost the $100 million drug case. Okay. To win
yeah.
that case,
And tell you there was no evidence. That what they said there was not enough evidence,
so
and
these
we're
people they
supposed to
know what
believe
they're doing.
that,
They
and the
can.
nation's supposed to believe that. That
Yes.
that that they're killing, and that the what brings me back to say
Mhm,
we have no reason running to United Nations, packing
mhm,
people all over the place to say
mhm,
we want to be on Security Council.
mhm.
The topic this year was No Child Left Behind, the street child. Liberia, you got almost what? Close to a quarter of your population not in school, in the street. Because if you beside the one that on drugs, you talk about the human trafficking where they go up interior and bring the people's children, and they're in Morovia or they're in the city area and doing a labor job. If you put all of that together, we can talk more than what 500,000. Because the last we this McCarthy talked about this that were almost a year and a half ago. How many more? We are not doing anything to
Of
get
course.
them off of that, and they're
Mhm.
getting more depressed and depressed.
What would JJ Rowell do?
What
Okay.
would JJ Rabbit do? Maybe
Yeah.
the next time we need to reread that. And these people act like there's a contempt against the citizen, and that's what that means. Like we call this neglect. Neglect.
Mhm. And notwithstanding, Cindy, I forgot to even ask to add. I'm sorry. Samuel Twe is unsanctioned. He's
Yes.
the United States, and somebody can tell me perhaps that they say, oh, the United States didn't take them to court. It's an allegation, but you live in this country long enough, you Cindy. Before they bring something to your door, they are pretty darn sure that they got some strong evidence for you to against you. Okay. Yes, I'm not saying that the system is perfect. I know that the system is not perfect. I know that there's uh, some integration of fairness, justice, racism, and all of those things in the system, and I can take that into consideration. But I know when I get stopped at the stop sign and I look around, see police, and I will say, "Oh, I can get off it." There's a camera there that will I'm sure to the put his head,
Exactly.
put his head,
Exactly.
and that's simply there, and a
Yeah.
car come there. And are you
Yeah.
in the car with your picture? Are you? Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
pay the fine. So when we say the United States didn't bring charges against them, yes, that's true. And
No, but the United States cannot leave their country and come to you. You have a diplomatic relationship.
mhm,
They got witnesses and they brought those evidence to you. It's
mhm,
your job now. The evidence that they brought for you
mhm,
to investigate and make sure there's a ground for you to
mhm,
prosecute. What I learned,
mhm,
somebody told me when they contacted Waka to bring those people to court, he
mhm,
said that
mhm.
American people, they're not Liberian people who charged him.
Okay.
So eventually they said might just get sanctioned. Because sanction is coming.
Okay.
Nothing
Usually
welcome.
comes in December. Usually comes the. But anyway, we have to bring the show to a
Yeah,
closing.
we have to bring the show to an end. Yeah.
Yes, so we want to thank you for joining us today. Please share this show. We know that a lot of people might not be listening to us at this moment, but a lot of people tell us that they listen maybe when they're going to work, when they're driving, when they're falling
When they're
asleep.
going to work, yes.
Because
Yeah,
we do
work
check the
later.
stats.
Yep.
We
Mhm.
check the stats of our show, and usually, we see that a lot of people listen to it at other times. I want to thank you. Want to share the show? We come here to conscientize you. I guess I'll move to closing. You see, is that okay? And then,
It is totally okay because I have to turn in some work myself.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Today I just want to close, and I'm speaking to the Liberian people. Something Sunday I went to church, and Sunday is usually our church day. Something that my pastor said today that I thought I share with the Liberian people, and he said that we should see with expectations. Sometimes you can see, but then you also blind. You cannot see.
Yeah.
And so that's what he was talking about. When we see from a human side perspective as opposed from a spiritual side, all right, that actually
Mhm.
can limit our expectations. So I'm asking Liberians, there's many, many things going on in our country, many missteps, intentional missteps, corruption.
Mostly intentional because they
Yeah,
know nothing will happen. There are no consequence.
it's hard. It's hard for our people. People, no CT scan machine. The roads, we look at the roads conditions. I mean, we share that today. Is horrible, and our country is over 176 years old. We keep on going through this whole thing over and over and over. So I'm just asking Liberian people today, to at least keep the faith going. We come here because we are faithful to you. We want to educate you. Just continue to see with expectation, define what you want. You want a better Liberia. Keep talking. They say in the Bible, when you gotta ask, you gotta seek, you gotta knock. You can't just do one thing and sit down. You gotta
Yes.
you gotta keep persistent, and that's what we come here every day. We are persistent, and then you gotta shut up sometimes when you ask. Okay, we do that and listen and see what going on around you. See, keep your eye open, color when what people told you or come to can't do, and what are they doing it, and how is
Yeah.
that
What are
looking
they
to
doing it?
okay? So I will tell you, see with expectation and how we leave it today. My pastor said plenty of other things in church, but I'll leave that one away. You seen it her own, she know the Bible more than me past. As
I'm
in,
not about you. No, no, you already said it all. Let me say to all of you, those of you who tune in, thank you. Those of you who will watch later, thank you. Join us next weekend. I believe we will be on 2 radio stations at a time by God's grace. Because
amen.
we want to make sure we educate our people. The best gift you can give anyone is the gift of knowledge, self-awareness. So you know who you are, you know where you deserve, you know where you're worth, what your nation say you should have. Okay. So that said, we will say good day. We both have to
Yes,
go.
and join
All
us
right.
next week. There's many, many things we have to cover. We didn't cover
We
half of
have
the
to
stuff.
cover.
The youth for
Okay.
not your speaker of the house is in the country.
We want to talk about the speaker for Nani Kofa,
We'll do that
who
next week.
claimed
And
that Liberia is the most morally corrupt nation. The
mm-hmm.
people are inherently corrupt. But this is a man who just helped, okay, to pass a recast budget, which he told us the budget was finger. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the first one was finger.
Mm-hmm.
And then turn around while investigating, have not completed the investigation yet.
Mm-hmm.
put his signature on the new budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is a man who went to one of the, his father was an ambassador, right? His father
Mm-hmm.
worked for the government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who went to Duke, an Ivy League, literally, in the United States, went to law school, cheated his clients out of money, went to jail,
Mm-hmm.
left the jail, came to Liberia, and y'all made him, in fact, the president gave him a job to be her lawyer, helping open a law firm in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now the Liberian people voted him as a lawmaker and signing all kind of book deals. It is a shame for him to talk about the nation being corrupt.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't get it. It's like make
I
that,
couldn't
that
have it. Let's tell people, y'all go to the news. Your father, he says that Bureau is deeply corrupt. It's a
yeah,
deeply
that's what
corrupt,
he said. You go,
characterized by moral bankruptcy,
yeah,
hypocrisy,
more.
and
And
social
he's talking about
stability.
moral bankruptcy, but he is correct though.
Mm.
He is correct. That includes him. Here is where it's in a way it says
Yeah.
Liberian House Speaker declared Liberia deeply corrupt.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
Society characterized by moral bankruptcy and
mhm.
hypocrisy and social whatever
Then
banditry.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
But so
So
but and you raise a
yes.
good point. You see me?
Mhm.
And your point is, if we are all of this in Liberia, what are you doing about it? What have
You
you
are in
done?
you are in a position of power.
Yes. When you want a budget or pass, you should be fighting against this corruption. That we are corrupt. Okay, so yeah. So we just want to thank you guys, tell you guys thank you. And let
Thank you
me
for tuning in, guys. We got to go to work stuff tomorrow. I want to say go on my page. All of those that I talk about is on my page. And I'll
Mhm.
also put on the second top page. Join us next Sunday around this time. Tuesday evening, I'm here. Doc is also on, I think Doc is on Spoon. I'm
Yes,
here.
yes,
Thursday evening, I'm here. And Doc is, I think she's at school.
yes, yes,
So there we go. And Saturday, she's on Spoon. But I'm here in the morning just talking to you from my kitchen. That's just random talking. You can
yes.
join me.
Let them
Okay,
talk.
but Sunday evening we're here, synchronized in order, just talking on things that are impacting the country. Thank you, Dad. And guys,
Thank you.
you have
Thank
a
you.
good evening.
You have a good evening.
Okay, bye bye. Go have your meeting. Good day.
Yeah. Good day.
Okay.